What is going on, YouTube? Patrick here. It was a good sales week last week, you guys. Not quite as good as a couple of weeks ago, but almost $600. I think that's a pretty good win for February. Um, Also, like thrifting in January was pretty bad, you guys. Pretty bad. Just did not find very many things. Luckily, I had my death pile, money pile, I don't know, whatever you refer to it as. I had stuff sitting in my storage unit and in my work room right now, the e-baby room, and I was able to use a lot of that to list. And it's good because I like going through that stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's, of course, way more fun to go out and source things and be able to buy new stuff. That is, of course, I think everybody's favorite thing to do. Pretty close anyway. But last weekend we went out, actually found a full bag full of stuff, so that was really cool. So come back on Saturday, check that out. Yeah, there were, let's see here, there was 19 sales last week. I listed 25 items, so I'm not too surprised, right? My theory is that the more you list, the more you sell, which does make sense. For whatever reason, in my mind, the eBay algorithm picks you up if you're constantly listing new things. So you go through some dry spells with sales, but if you just keep listing and you can't just list a bunch of nonsense, right? You got to list things that you think will actually have a good chance of selling, which means doing your research, which I try to always do. Sometimes I get carried away and just buy things and then I list them and then they sit. So I try to go through my stuff every year, every 2 years, something like that, and make sure. We're going to do a big reorg of the eBaby room probably in like April, I think. Right, we got to fit a second crib in there since we're having twins. And so we're going to take at least one of those shelves that I have in there for storage right now and move that into my storage unit. I'm going to try and keep two shelves in there. We'll see how long that lasts. But that'll be a little bit of things that are going to be listed and things that were recently listed that I think are going to sell quickly. Otherwise, we're going to try and move a lot of that stuff over to storage. But yeah, so all that's coming up for us. And when I do that, I'm going to go through everything, right? See, does this need to stay up listed or should I just take this down and donate it? The thing with it is that I may just move it over to storage. I've got actually quite a bit of room in my storage unit, and it can sit there for as long as it needs to until it sells. Sometimes I'll go through and adjust the pricing on things. If they have enough watchers, a lot of times I'll send those over to auction. So I have one item that's been listed for, I think it's about a year and a half, maybe even 2 years now, and I'm like, it's got 25 watchers. So I'm like, okay, I should send that over to auction probably. Of course, there's a holiday coming up here, and I don't really like to do auctions around holidays, so I'll probably wait until after the holiday passes before that. So probably March, something like that. But yeah, I'm sure I will talk to you guys about that. All right, so let's get into the sales. Like I said, there's 19 items. Let's do it. That's a lot of sales from last week. Up first, this is a book set. There's actually two of them here, two box sets. Beatrix Potter books. We got these at a Savers, a thrift store, a while back, really cheap. They were $1.99 each. Yeah, $60 for both of them plus shipping. Originally, I thought maybe I could get $30. I was willing to take a best offer on them. I never got any offers, you guys, ever. And they just sold for the full asking price of the $60 plus shipping. So very happy with that. Like I said, it was about $4 before tax, so a little bit more after taxes. Fantastic thrifted find to start us off this week. Item number 2 is a video game from PlayStation 3. This is Red Dead Redemption Undead, something like that. Red Dead Undead Redemption, I don't remember the name. My friend Ted brought me a box of his old video games to go through and list for him, so this was from him. It sold for, I think it was $11.99 free shipping, because I've got it at $8.27 after shipping. And so it's a 40-40-20 split. So 40% to me, 40% to Ted, and then 20% goes to eBay for fees and is set aside for shipping supplies and that kind of stuff. So it's not going to be a lot, right? It's only going to be about $3.31 to me and $3.31 to Ted. That's okay. Fun to list this stuff, and I'll give Ted probably, I don't know, probably be $100 or more after I sell through all of his stuff. Probably $100 to $200, something like that. Thank you, Ted. Item number 3. This is the best type of item, honestly, because it was free. I was taking the garbage out when one of the apartments nearby us was moving, and they had a bunch of stuff, and I just grabbed it. Right, this was Villaware, so that's a brand I'm already going to be looking for to buy when I'm thrifting. And yeah, I was like, yeah, don't throw that away. I will take it. And I thought maybe Villaware should be worth a lot. It really wasn't worth a lot. But $20 for free is $20, right? So very nice little flip for free item. Item number 4. This one's a little bit weird. I didn't ask Amber. I'll have to pause after this item and ask her what the weird sale of the week is. But this one's weird in my mind because I already had sold this and shipped it out and thought it was all done, and then it just showed up back here one day, which is always odd. It was just a not deliverable. So went into eBay, refunded the person their money, not the shipping cost, of course. Don't refund their shipping costs. Refunded it, relisted it, and yeah, then it sold again. It actually sold for a little bit more money. Not a lot, like 50 cents more, but still it sold again. I like these Schleich animals, right? There's a bunch of them that I've bought. They're usually in the $8 to $10, maybe a little bit more than that. This is a nice, solid, like toy listing. You want to get them as little as possible. I'm usually getting them in bags of toys that cost anywhere from like $2.99 up to $4.99, something like that. So depending on if you can get them in a bag with a bunch of them or a lot of other stuff, you can get the price per item to be down there. This one wasn't super cheap. It ended up being like $1.75 as part of that bag, but still, I sold it for $7.50 after shipping costs. So honestly, not bad at all. Item number 5 is, it's not a board game, it's kind of a board game kind of thing. It's kind of just tabletop game, I would call it, I guess. This was from my friend Liz when her parents were moving. She had a bunch of her stuff in their house. She went over and went through it all. There was tons of board games, tons of video game stuff, or tons of toys and a little bit of video game stuff. And we went through it all together. And I told her exactly the ones I wanted. This was one of them. This was a fun one to kind of like set up and play through, making sure everything was working. Originally, I thought this was worth $50, so I paid Liz up front for it. I paid $20 for this for that 40-40-20 rule. I actually sold for $60 plus shipping, so a little bit more. I am tracking all that stuff so that at the end, if I actually end up selling it for more than I thought it was going to be, I'll make her an offer and see if she wants a little extra money to give to her parents. We'll see. But Liz, thank you very much. All right, item number 6, $200, you guys. I took best offer on this, but you guys can guess. This one is the sale of the week. I got this at online, right? Auction Ninja, and I paid up for it. I paid $52.78. That's the plus. It's the bid plus tax plus the buyer's premium. So right, all of that was factored into it. I had thought it would be worth about $150. And I did a lot of research like on Terapeak. If you guys don't know, you can get onto Terapeak if you have, I think, even a basic store subscription, which is what I have. Terapeak gives you that full year, not just 90 days of research you can look into. So I did a little bit of that before listing it, made sure it powered up, and then listed it for parts because I don't know if this thing is actually working or not. Listed it for $600, figuring I'll take a best offer probably in that range. The person did something really weird, and they said, well, how about I pay you $200, and if it works, I'll send you a check for another $200. You guys, I am not expecting to get any more money for this at all. If for whatever reason a check shows up, I'm going to be super happy. I will keep you posted. I think it is approaching, the chances of that are approaching 0. Honestly, I just think there's no chances. They did pay, and it's for parts, and I tried to be as explicit in my descriptions that I did not test this. I don't know what condition it's in. May need repairs, may need things I don't even know are wrong. Hopefully, they won't open up an item not as described and try to return it. I've had that happen a lot on my 4 parts listings, which is ridiculous. When I'm like, I try to describe it and they're like, oh, well, you said there was an error, but there's actually 2 errors. I'm like, okay. So I'm worried about that, of course, because this is a $200 item, but hopefully it's going to work out. Yeah, $52.78, turned it into $200. Solid sale of the week. Item number 7, this is a Generation 1 from the 1980s Transformer. I was really excited to find this. I think it was in one of my live thrifting videos at one point. Yeah, super, super happy to find this type of stuff. I grew up in that era, right? So I had a bunch of these Transformers when I was little. And so it was really always fun when you find them. I still have some of mine in storage somewhere, and I pull them out every couple of years and play with them. It's always super fun. And I love buying them, honestly. Even the newer stuff, like I try not to buy too much, but what are you going to do? Hopefully, David and Matthew will be interested in some Transformers when they get a little older. That would be amazing to be able to play with them. This one, when I first bought it, I thought this was going to be like a $40 or $50 item. With the condition it was in, it really wasn't worth that. I listed it, I think, for $20, or I think for $30 or $40, and I took a best offer of $20. I was into this, I think, for like $4.99. I put a price on there of $8.89, which probably means that I changed the price on it based on everything I had bought at the thrift store that day and based on me thinking it was worth like $40. Obviously, it wasn't worth that much, so a little bit higher price on my accounting side, but I know I didn't really pay that much for it. And solid for a nice toy being $20, right? So pretty good flip for a 1980s beat up Transformer. All right, item number 8, another toy. This one's a Schleich Buffalo, just similar to style to that elephant we sold. Kind of funny how they sell in waves like that. This one sold for $8, and I was into it for about $1.99. So again, these Schleich animals, they sell very well, but they just don't sell for a ton. It's a good bread and butter toy item, I would call it. All right, item number 9. This is a Honeywell Thermostat. I had bought a couple of these probably like 2.5 years ago, something like that. Sold the first one right away for, I would say, probably like $10 to $15. This one sat here because I wanted to replace the one in our apartment with this, and I chickened out, you guys, honestly. I didn't know exactly how to do it. It's not my house. So I was like, I didn't want to start pulling wires out of the wall. It's probably super easy, but I just chickened out. And finally, the super was here the other day fixing something, and he said he could hook me up with a programmable thermostat. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to sell this one. And it sold right away. I think I ended up selling it for, let's see here, it might have been like $15 free shipping. After shipping, it was $8.89. And I was into this for about $1.50 from a garage sale, like I said, a couple of years ago. Solid little thermostat flip. Definitely look out for thermostats. They can sell for big money. And a lot of times you can find them brand new, actually. Item number 10, I did ask Amber. This one is
Amber's Weird Sale of the Week.
she bought, I don't know, there was like 5 of these, I want to say, at a garage sale a summer or two ago, something like that. And she wanted them. She was like, I want a couple of these for myself. And so we got home. She took the ones that she wanted. And we just were like, well, what are we going to do with the rest? And I looked on eBay just for the heck of it to see if they were selling. And sure enough, they were. And so the others that we didn't want, I sold those. These sat in our cupboard for a couple of years. We went through not too long ago, and she was like, you know what? I don't think I'm actually ever going to use these. Why don't you try and sell them too? And I put them up for sale, and sure enough, they sold within like a month, I want to say, of me listing them. Maybe a little bit more than that. But it was a free shipping. After shipping, $13.12. And I would guarantee you that I bought 5 of these for $1. So it was about 40 cents into these things. And so a solid sale for these at $13. All right, item number 11. They can't all be fun and games. This was not a good sale at all. I had picked this up at an estate sale last year. I think I ended up paying $10 for it. That's what I've got written down here. And I thought it was going to be worth like $20 to $30, right? These older ones, not worth a ton. It's in the box, so it adds a little bit of that collectability to it. But somehow, you guys, when I listed this, I put free shipping on it. I want to blame eBay and say, oh yeah, eBay switched this from my paid shipping to free shipping. I don't think that's what happened. I think I messed it up. So I ended up selling it for $20 free shipping. And so after that, it ended up being $7.54. And like I said, I was into this for $10. So I'm actually upside down on it. Bad sale. Maybe I need to start doing a bad sale of the week. Comment down below if you want to see what's my bad sale or the worst sale of the week, something like that. Let me know. All right, item number 12. I get that look from Amber that she's about to go into a conference call, so we'll see. And just like that, it is Thursday. Life happens sometimes, you guys. Gonna finish out the last couple items here on Thursday. Get it published here hopefully this afternoon. Yeah, life is fun. All right, item number 12. This is a PlayStation 3 game. This one's another one of Ted's games like we talked about earlier in this video. This one sold for, I want to say, like $17 with free shipping. I've got it listed here at $12.62 after shipping, so it's probably about that, maybe $16.50, something like that. So at the 40-40-20, it's going to be about $5 to me and $5 to Ted. Thank you, Ted. Item number 13. This one's also kind of in the running for the bad sale of the week. I had bought these thinking, hey, some of the Pirates of the Caribbean figures have done really well for me. They were like $3, I want to say. And I thought that was a really good, like potentially good deal. And got home, checked them out. They were Disney Zizzle. I was like, okay, I had never heard of that. Not really worth a ton. And I was like, okay, this is a fail. And I thought, okay, well, if I bundle them, maybe I can get like $7 to $10 for them. And so I was like, okay, I put them up at 10, thinking I would potentially take a best offer of like 7. And immediately got a best offer of like 8. And I'm like, hey, this is great. Took the best offer. Then I saw the paid price was like only $10. And I thought, well, that's not enough for shipping. And just like the two ago with the Amazon Echo, somehow I set this to free shipping. So definitely a mistake on my part. Really hate to see that happen, but at least it was only on like a small, crappy little item like this and not like anything big. So yeah, gonna make like $1.49 on these, something like that. Really terrible, but yeah, sometimes we make mistakes and we learn and we just go on and keep going. Item number 14. I've been selling these for a few weeks now. They seem to be picking up steam. Franklin Library. This one's the counterfeiters. I had originally thought this was worth a little bit more than it was, but I ended up selling it for $12.50 plus shipping. And I was into it for $1.99. I got a bunch of these at a Goodwill, I don't know, a couple months ago, and they've been slowly selling, but definitely worth it, right? Books I like to really sell and willing to take a little bit less profit on them a lot of times just because they're super easy. And it gives me some of those more like bread and butter items to list, right? Like things that I can just continue to list. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, like I do believe like the more you list, the more you sell. And so like books are a lot of times an easy thing you can do that are going to be profitable and just not going to make a ton of money on. And it kind of fills in the blanks on some of the days when you have some really big items that you want to focus on, but still want to get your listing quantities up. So at least that's how I look at it. All right, item number 15. This is more PlayStation 3 games. These aren't TEDs. I had picked these up with Amber during the summer at a garage sale. I think I ended up paying up on these. I think they were $5 each. And some of them were more valuable, right? There was a couple of them in the $20 to $30 range. These were a little bit on the lower end side. So what I did is just bundled them together and ended up selling them for, let's see, after shipping was $19.42, right? So about $9.42 in profit on that. A little bit less after fees, of course, but honestly, not too bad of a pickup. And video games are easy to ship, right? Item number 16. This one was a fun one. Picked these up a few weeks ago. I think this was in the new year. Can't remember for sure. But these are old the Disney Afternoon, like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers figures. They had this box set where there was like 20 figures, maybe 16 figures, something like that. And we ended up getting a bunch of them in a couple different bags at live thrifting a few weeks back. And so I just started putting them into light categories, right? Rescue Rangers, Goof Troop. I think there was Gummy Bears was the other one that I had found. So we got a bunch of them. And all of them are starting to sell like right around the $10 range. So it's really not too bad here. What was this one? This one ended up, I put it up for 10 and took a best offer of $7.50. Honestly, not bad. I think I was into it for like $2. So fun little toy flip. Definitely like to find Disney Afternoon stuff. These were part of my, I don't know, youth. Not, I wasn't really when I was in my really young years, but like still watched a bunch of these because I really like the Disney shows. All right, item number 17. This one's a little bit higher dollar value, which is nice. This is a Kodak slide projector. This is model number 600. This isn't one of the really valuable ones either, you guys. And you can see even it sold for $65 plus shipping. I was into it for $11.99. That's what I paid for it at a Goodwill a while back. And so, right, still turning $12 into $65 is going to be a solid flip. Some of them, like I think the one that's really popular is the Ectographic 3, something like that. I actually have one of those I'm getting ready to list. And I expect to sell that one for around $100 or more. I saw Flippin' Junk the other day. He found one, wasn't really interested in buying it, and then he did comps, and he was like, wow, I can't believe this is worth money. Definitely, it's a little bit more work, right? Gotta make sure it works. Looking for rust on these things is really helpful, I found. But still, there is a failure rate. The ones that have the remote controls, right, definitely want to make sure those are included if you're going to pay up for it. And some of them also need a power cord that's separate, so make sure that's included. What I've seen is that sometimes you even find them in a case or in the box. The box is going to add value, the case isn't. So a lot of times I will try to either leave the case behind or try and recycle the case. But yeah, the case is not really going to add a lot of value. It just adds weight to the shipping and nobody really wants to deal with that. But yeah, the adding the slide tray seems to also be able to make it a little bit more valuable. So I actually had to buy one of these things a couple of years ago where they gave me, I think, 20 slide trays. So I've got them just sitting in my storage unit, just piled up, and just trying to keep them out of the way. And then whenever I find one of these, I can just pair them together. And then I've actually got a bunch of slides that I found over the years too, right? Where I can just pop them into the slide tray and test out this machine. Because I honestly find them that often that it was worth it for me to try and hold on to these things for testing. So yeah, solid electronics flip. These are something you guys will find, and they're worth a good amount of money. So definitely put this on your list of things for that are good flips. All right, item number 18, another little toy lot. This is Peppa Pig. This was one I had no idea about, you guys. It was in a bag with Muppet Babies figures, which ended up not really being worth anything, but these were. So I ended up putting it up, I think, for $20 with free shipping. And I think I ended up selling it for like $16 or $17, again, free shipping. So after shipping was about $13. And right, since it was in a bag that was like $2.99, it's going to be a really nice little flip, about $10 in profit. So nice, solid toy flip again. Item number 19 is going to round us out this week. This will do it. This was from the big estate sale in the fall that Amber and I went to, where we bought all these brand new electronics that were new in box. We made so much money off of this stuff. This one was kind of a surprise one to me, where I didn't really know how much it was going to be worth. There weren't really a lot of solds. I just put it up for $50 and figured I'd take a best offer on it. And then lo and behold, it sold for $50. So never question that stuff when it happens. Just be glad that you did. Because I thought it was worth a little bit less, I ended up assigning a value of like $4 to this, or cost of like $4 to this. So right, it's $4.50 is a really, really solid flip any day. The reason why it's I have $4 on there, right? I had paid $250 for everything. So no real item had a price on it each. So it's like, well, I just kind of assigned costs based on the value, right? So it makes sense, right? To take the percentage of the value divided by the percentage times the percentage of the cost, something like that, you guys. I'll have to show you sometime if you're really interested. Comment down below if you want me to take you through how I do that, right? Because it's kind of just a little bit of funny numbers, but it works for me. All right, so that is going to do it this week, you guys. Total sales, $597. Listed 25 items last week, which is really good. Spent about 9 hours, and I put 9 hours and 9.5 hours, looks like, or 9.25 hours. And let's see, cost of goods sold was $145, and estimated fees were about $93. So just under $250 in fees, which is going to be about $350 in profit. Divided by that $9 is going to be just about $40. $40 an hour in profit is what I'm going to pay myself, right? I only spent about 9 hours. 9 hours isn't that much to be doing this. Mostly listing, didn't do a ton of sourcing. Just a couple little hours, just went to a couple thrift stores. And that was it, honestly, you guys. Really working, like I said, on my death pile. Not finding a ton at thrift stores lately. But like I said, last weekend I actually did find some stuff. So this week has been going through all that and testing it. And come back on Saturday. It's possible Sunday. We'll see how I do today and tomorrow on editing. But I actually found some pretty good stuff. So that'll be a fun one. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this content, please do smash that like button. And if you're interested in more content like this, I try to publish a What Sold video every week and a live thrifting video every week. Please do subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know when I release a video, since apparently sometimes I'm a day late, hit that bell icon to be reminded of when it happens. Once again, my name is Patrick, and thank you very much.